Hey guys, hi peeps, hi Sagies.
Hello.
Paige and I are back. We are covering the new television show, Love During Lockup. It is a spinoff of Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup. This is season 1, episode 1.
Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks.
So listen, I had my brain cells oozing out of my head as I watched this episode, but I want you to know I'm here for it. What did you think when you first started watching this episode?
I wanted to pray for everybody. That was the first impression. That was my first thoughts.
It's rough. I mean, I'm telling you, as I'm watching the show, as it's going through, I'm realizing that I must be old because I kept sitting there staring at each individual, thinking to myself, boy, you better be glad I'm not your mama. Because I mean, seriously, these people were, I don't know, I think they might be a little more delusional than the ones on Love After Lockup. I mean, it seems so weird to me. Now, Sages and Peeps, we start off with Haley and Dylan. Now, listen, Sage, please tell me now, what did you think of this particular couple?
Okay. I'm trying to see if I should say it nicely. Okay. So, first of all, when I first saw her, Cruella DeVille was the first thought, like, what is going on? And I kind of took my glasses off and cleaned them to see if I was seeing correctly. She got the black and the white hair just on purpose, I guess. Okay. But and then the amount of money, that she put in there, and then the guy only had 8 years, and I'm saying only, I ain't in that position, so I know 8 years can feel like forever. But the amount of money she spent to get him out versus the amount of time, it's not like it's for life.
Girl, listen. Okay, first of all, let me just tell you, Haley comes off to me as extremely immature. This girl is 26 years old. She's got a huge binder where she is doodling, I love Dylan, day one. She's writing stuff to him. I mean, it's almost as if when you were in school and you said, oh my gosh, do you like me? Yes or no? I mean, and this woman is a mother.
Yeah.
And she says that Dylan is a genius because he dropped out of school and passed his GED. And I said, a genius because he passed his GED? What? And
that's why I started praying.
I do not like that she sing talks. I mean, as she's talking, she's singing at the same time. I don't like talk singing. I really don't. It's too much. We also find out that she survived a very bad car accident and she ends up getting this settlement money. And I believe she said it was $70,000 or $80,000.
I think she said 80.
She's a single mom. And she says that so far she has used $25,000 giving money to Dylan. And no, was his name Dylan or Dalton? It was Dalton. She has given him money, plus she spent $12,500 to pay for an attorney for him.
Yes.
And I got extremely pissed off because I said, first of all, young lady, you almost died, and that's why you got this money.
Exactly.
Second of all, you have a child that you are trying to raise by yourself while you work every day as a maid. And you are giving $25,000 to this dude who was in jail, who says that he comes from a wealthy family. Why doesn't his mom pay for his damn legal fees? That $25,000 that you have spent on this jailbird genius, you could have put that in a college fund for your little boy. So that pissed me off, period.
Exactly. Plus, he even said that he didn't even remember her in school. She said that they both went to school together. They came up in the same town, city, whatever. They went to the same school. She remembers him. And then she said, and he doesn't remember me.
And her face looked as if she was a little pissed off that he didn't remember her too.
Yeah. And you just doing all this money, you know, making money rain on him for what? My issue, my biggest issue with them is that it's only 8 years, and you know everything that you said, because that's college money for your child and take care of your child and all of that.
She could have started her own business or something. She could have done something to make life better for her and her child.
Exactly.
Not this dude who we find out when she goes to the attorney that he's a career criminal.
Exactly.
Let his mama
with
take care of
fraud
him.
And all of that. You don't think he gonna fraud you? So that's
when
my
he
biggest
gets out
issue.
of jail, he's gonna forget her then too. He's not gonna remember her when he finally gets
He'll
out of
probably
jail.
fraud her first.
This is ridiculous. I was so ticked with her. I don't know if it's because she's a single mom and I'm a single mom. I don't know. But I tell you what, if I somehow went through such a traumatic incident and then ended up with $80,000, you best believe I'm going to work the hell out of that $80,000. And it's not going to be to save an inmate.
It's to change your life, you and your child's life for the better. And giving that money to an inmate is not it.
No, it
and
isn't.
It's only 8 years. I hate to keep saying only, but
I felt for that attorney that she went to. You could see that man's face dropped when she was talking to him. And he told her what he would tell his own daughter. Get rid of this dude and move on with your life, because this guy is a career criminal. And she doesn't want to take any of his advice. She says she has faith in Dalton. No, we don't. Mm-mm. No, we
don't even know you. Dalton don't even know you. He don't even know you.
It's Gabby and Chris. Listen, we find out that Gabby met Chris through her friend whose boyfriend was in jail as well, and that she is giving him hand jobs during prison visits. I'm not risking going to jail and getting thrown out the prison and embarrassed to give you hand jobs, fella. Oh. We also find out that Chris has some kind of settlement. Now, do you believe that's a settlement, or do you believe he is selling medication places and that's where that money came from?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. See, I'm just so trusting. I was thinking that he was like, I was thinking places had switched from Cruella DeVille to Chris.
I don't know.
Because he gave her
a big amount of money. He sent her $5,000 so she could buy her own engagement ring. And then we find out that supposedly he has given her a total of $60,000.
$60,000, yes.
And, you know, her and her mama at that wedding venue, I don't blame her mom at all. I mean, girl, are you kidding me? Her mom says that she has been engaged 4 times. If you are 25 or 26 years old and you have been engaged 4 times, that just seems to be a lot to me. And then she says, well, the 5th time is the charm. Is it really?
That was a lot, because I'm like, see, you didn't say all of that. They introduced her in and she just was in her room and just talking and giggling and, you know, being all cutesy poopsy. And then the mama gets in and tells the real, and she's like, you've been engaged each time. I mean, she said you got 4 boyfriends before this, and you've been engaged 6 each time.
She was engaged to all of them.
Yeah, so I was like, wait a minute now. You didn't say that. Like, you didn't, when she came through with her truth, she didn't include that. And I'm like, so you just a fast. And then she, you know, she gets upset with her mom saying, like, are you trying to call me a whore? I don't think her mom was trying to call her a whore.
She needs to get engaged 14 more times if she'll be the Danielle Staub of the show. I'm just saying. I mean, the wedding venue place was beautiful. It really was. But when that lady said it was $230 a person, and then she said she was going to have 82 people, I said, that's almost $19,000. And then she goes and says, well, he got that settlement of $150,000. I said, $150,000 goes really fast.
Yes. And she says, well, I'm like, I was like, cut.
Yes. I'm like, girl, you can run through $150,000 in 2 weeks. She says that she has gotten $60,000 for him. She's bought furniture. She's paid for her car insurance. groceries. She's
And
also paying her credit card debts. And I said, you know what? That's real cute right now. But one thing is for sure, when a man comes out of jail and he's giving you a bunch of money, you better be careful, because a lot of men expect something for it. And are you ready to go with those consequences? I don't think you should play around with dudes that went to jail. I'm just saying, and girls either.
Okay. Yes, I totally agree, because the car she bought, was it a BMW, right? Or a Mercedes? BMW, yeah. Come on, I had to buy a car. And then she wraps it up with saying, just the necessities of life. She said she just bought the necessities of life.
Don't play with these people's money.
What we need to live. She said what we need to live.
What we need to live is a BMW with this man's money. I don't.
And then don't forget, she bought herself a ring now. She bought herself a ring.
That was a really pretty ring she purchased, but it's not the same. And her mom said that this is what she does. She never really settles down with anybody. She says that
this would be the wrong one, I think.
Yes, she says that she picks these men up, she dates them, she chews them up and spits them out.
This would be the wrong one.
This is going to be the wrong one, because you played around with $60,000 of this man's money. Oh, girl, we about to see what's going to happen here.
How funny.
Then we move to Max and Tara. Now, honey, listen, what did you think about Max?
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Bless his heart, because first of all, he was heartbroken and everything, right? And that's the reason why he went and looked where he looked, under whatever rock he looked under, in order to find who he found. And it seemed like he got so much hope in her, and she already didn't come through. And I feel so bad for him that that's the first impression that we even get, because it had to be, he fell in love. And it had to be something that we haven't seen.
Yeah, no, I didn't feel sorry for him, not even a tiny bit. I said, first of all, you put yourself through that 45-minute facial routine. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, it's a little hyaluronic acid or whatever. That's for people over 40. He is 24 years old. What are you doing, young man? His facial routine was too much. And he got ready for that video call. I am positive he did about 17 push-ups so he could fluff up those fake muscles. And those are show muscles, if you ask me. I think they're show muscles. I don't think that he could open up a jar of peanut butter. I'm just telling you, I just don't. Something is not right.
His head does look, okay, the only thing I got to say about his looks is his head does look a little bit small for his body. It doesn't look proportioned, but I feel sorry for him. And I don't know why I feel sorry for him and not like the previous women. The previous women, they seem like they're taking advantage of the situation in some kind of way. Well, anyway, I feel sorry for him. And the lady didn't show up. That was so sad. And he did prepare. Like you said. Yes, Pia, he prepared.
He prepared, and he said that he purposely went looking for somebody in prison. Now,
His heart was hurt. He said he was hurt.
I know, but come on now. And that girl didn't show up for a reason. They showed in the previews where she was asking him if he was a catfish, but she just didn't show up. And I said, well, shoot, maybe he should be worried that you're a catfish. Maybe you use somebody else's prison photos. I have no idea.
Girl, she didn't have to.
Remember when he mentioned they showed all of those mug shots she had? I said, dang on it, she looks different in every mug shot. She was definitely a chameleon. Yeah. Max, I'm wishing you the best, fella.
Yeah, he has hope. Like, he has real, not to say the rest of them don't have hope. Anyway, I don't know. He just seemed more innocent. I don't know. Bless his heart. He seemed like he's gonna get the biggest heartbreak, and I really don't wish that for him.
Good luck, Max. We'll be watching.
We will.
Call us Max. Anyway, the next couple, we go to absolute delusional hell. This girl is out of her daggone mind. Indy and Harry. Now listen here. Listen here. This girl is 29 years old and Harry is 22. He has been in jail for 4 years and they are in this spiritual marriage through the mail. And she is talking about moving to Ohio with this dude. Ma'am, I cannot. This lady has a spiritual advisor. Now listen, you can go to a psychic if you want to. You can go to a tarot reader if you want to. They could be the best. They could be the worst. But
Yes.
one thing is for sure, I think you are not supposed to base your entire life off of what you got from a tarot reading. I mean, seriously, the woman says, well, it looks like you're going to move. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that. And let me say, I did not like that. And I cringe every time a show says psychic reader, tarot reader. I'm like, oh Lord, because they're going to show the worst, the worst of however they could. And when she said that, I was like, wait a minute, you shouldn't. There were just things that was popping off in my mind. Like, wait a minute, this is wrong, that's wrong. You shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. As the tarot reader, I'm like, she shouldn't have did that. She shouldn't have did this. And then the woman talking about, yes, she said it, I'm doing it. And I was like, no, that's not how it works. But who am I to tell someone how it works? That's not how I do it.
Anything like that in my life. I have never seen somebody
Cringe.
make life-changing decisions off of a tarot reading. Not even a 12 tarot readings, just the one. I mean, it's just ridiculous to me. And then finding out that her mom is a bounty hunter and a detective, I said, well, what? Her mom needs to bounty hunt this dude. And she also needs to look for her daughter's brain because this is crazy. What she needs to do is stop spending money over here at this tarot lady's place and give the money to a licensed therapist because you are out of it. She has 2 children that live there, one that she has custody of and the other one that the father has custody of. How are you just going to pick the one kid that you have, leave the state in a month's time? See, you don't even know if he's getting out. The psychic told you he was going to get out in a month and you just changing your life around. Are you going to put in your notice for work? What kind of dumbness is this? What part of the game is this?
Beyond my understanding. Now, one thing I did like that the mama said, she said, I haven't even got a chance to PI him yet. And I said, you better come through, mama. Okay. Now, I'm not a private investigator. However, when my child gets of age, I'm going to PI them.
Honey, listen, younger Pia, girl, I have donned a hat and borrowed a car to PIX. Do you hear me? Me and my friends, we will PI somebody today. A grown Pia. I don't trust anybody. He said he was not married. We gonna find out. Honey, I will look up a marriage license and peep out somebody's home faster than you can say fast. Don't play me. Play with your man. I'm just saying.
Well, at least you put yours all out there. I'll be all quiet with mine. I'll be like, and I real quick. But yeah.
I loved it so much when her cousin said, what is a paper marriage? What is a spiritual marriage? And she talking about they wrote their vows on paper and sent it to each other in the mail. I don't want one of those. No, thank you.
You know what? And I'm going to say this. I have heard of spiritual marriages before, but they're not like that. I haven't heard of that. What she described has not been what I know to be a spiritual marriage. I just want to say that because I had never heard of that before in my life. And it seems like a lot of these people need to grow up.
Yeah, I don't want that. And the whole time I'm watching that, I'm thinking to myself, this girl is a mother. You know what I mean? She's raising children. And what example are you showing them? You know what I mean? Not that I'm a great example, PI folks, because I'll do it. But I'm just saying, I don't think that that's a good example. I took all this advice from my psychic, and I instantly decided that I'm just going to pack up and move.
Yeah.
And, you know, this dude hasn't even gotten out of jail yet. You don't know who he is outside of jail.
Exactly.
And he's been in jail for a while. So a girl, and the age difference is kind of big, and he is attractive. I will give you that. And when he gets out of jail, some other women are going to find him quite attractive. You know what I mean?
They will.
Girl, you better quit playing.
It's going to be some mess. And my thing is, you know what? It would have seemed like there was a tiny bit of hope, of a little bit of sense going on if she had said, I'm going to go there first by myself and see what's up. But saying, I'm going to pack myself up and my child and we going, that was nuts.
A little bit of sense to me would have been to sit back and wait.
Well, true.
Wait for this dude to get out of jail.
True.
Wait to see how he behaves when he gets out of jail, and then decide if you want to move somewhere. At this point, I don't even want to introduce you to my children. I don't know you outside of jail. I don't know who you really are.
Exactly.
You have no business in my children's life. I am a firm believer that not every man or every woman that you date deserves to meet your children.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
I just can't. I can't see it. Girl, listen. Then we move on to the absolutely over the top, I hope she is faking it, Ty and Hottie. Honey, now listen, what did you think?
Well, I'm not surprised to find out that Ty has multiple incarcerated men. She seemed like the type to me, whatever that type seems like, she fits it in my mind. And for her to admit it, that, you know, he ain't the only one I'm talking to who locked up. Okay, thank you, because that's what it seemed like. And it seems like she liked the mess that ensued. It seems like she welcomes the mess.
Yeah, she kind of acted as if she was showboating, as if she was some sort of boss chick. But no, ma'am, what you are doing is playing with criminals. Okay, you are playing with real criminals. And you say that they deal in medication, if you know what I mean. And these are people that won't have any problem stepping to you, ma'am. Why would you do that? First of all, why do you have this going on in your life when you just told us that you are a mother of 3, single mom, and we just saw 2 of your children and they're little girls? You're putting your children in harm's way, and you're setting a horrible example for the kids. And I mean, can you imagine fighting over some dude that's in prison?
No.
Meanwhile, you have 32 other prison babes. Like, what? This whole situation with this girl is just unimaginable. Listen, I do my very best when I'm watching shows like this to try not to be so judgy, because I understand that people do get lonely. But how lonely are you that you sit there and create a full vision board for prisoners? The whole concept, the whole setup was crazy. So we see you with Hottie. Then you get this phone call from BB. Now, BB was somebody that she dated before he went to jail, but he's in jail for pharmaceutical charges for 40 years. And you were trying to juggle BB, Hottie, and 17 other men who are in prison. And, with 2 different phones, she says that she talks to 8 to 10 dudes each week on her prison hotline. Girl, you have too much time. And that's the thing to me. A grown woman with 3 children that has that much time to talk to inmates, are you out of your damn mind? I mean, I'm just serious. I had 1 child. I went to work 40 hours a week. I went to college full time, and I spent the rest of my time trying to give my son as much attention as possible. How the hell can you juggle 37 prison inmates and your 3 kids?
What? She can't. because she asked that one child, didn't she ask him, can your dad take you to
Yes,
soccer
to
practice or
soccer
whatever?
or something.
That'll
Yeah.
sure help. That'll sure help. And I'm like, wait a minute. You're asking the dad to step in so that you can have more time with a prisoner? So you're skipping out on time that can be spent one-on-one time. You know, like I love my time in the car driving my child wherever they need to go, because we get to
be
talk.
at soccer practice. I like to watch when my son
Exactly.
plays soccer, so
You know?
that I can tell him how much progress he's making and all of this stuff. We go get ice cream afterwards.
And your
Those are
kids
precious
love it.
moments.
The kids love it. They well, most of the time until they get to a certain age, they be like, go. Anyway, though, but just the car ride, you know. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you don't even want to do that. That's only like 10 minutes. Well, I don't know how far they live, but usually it's like 5 to 10 minutes wherever, you know. And I'm like, you can't even do that because of someone in prison.
You can't do that when you've got a vision board, a progress board, a moving on to do board. I mean, and I saw some of the notes on the board. It was like, put $150 on your phone card, send something to such and such. So what? I hope this woman is not taking money out of her kid's mouth for these prisoners. This is crazy to me. And then the whole blocked phone calls, and it turns out Hottie got a little side girlfriend. And she got the nerve to be upset. She got an attitude. What can he do with this girl? Nothing. The same thing he's doing with you. Nothing. He's in prison.
Then the girl says that he's using you, and she said, using me for what? So, okay. So if she's putting money on his books, then that's what? Isn't that they're
not the only two. You best believe these prison girls and guys, they know the system. They know how it works. And they could have up to 37, just like she does. They are working each one of these ladies and each one of these gentlemen, and they are getting them to send them money, listen to them talk on the phone, and write them letters. I mean, it's all a con.
Well,
I hate to be so rude. I hate to be so rude. I mean, the peeps know, the sages may not, but the peeps know that I am really fair. I am really nice, and I try my best not to be rude. But these women, because they are single moms, they have got to try to do the best they can for their babies. They don't have anybody else to pick up the slack for the rest. And you really do not have time to be juggling 37 prisoners. You gotta be there for your kids. I mean, I'm really tickled.
No,
her.
I agree.
She's got some father issues, and 1 hour a week she needs to be spending on some therapist couch.
I agree.
Anyway, peeps and sages, get down in the comments. Let us know what you think. Sage and I are going to be covering Love During Lockup for the full season. This is going to be our thing. So thank you so much for joining us. And as we always say, until next time, bye.
Bye.